family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Support for community radio on WSKB provided by Westfield Electroplating. Employing over 140 skilled platers, painters, and technicians, Westfield Electroplating was founded in 1946 and was the first company in the country to achieve National Aerospace and Defense Contractor Program accreditation, proudly maintaining that status for over a decade. Westfield Electroplating provides over 50 quality finishes to meet your corrosion, cosmetic, or performance needs. On the web at www.westfieldplating.com or 413-568-3716. Westfield Electroplating, putting the finishing touches on technology.
It's Tuesday morning from 6 till 8. Wow, it's Tuesday with Bob Plass.
Community Radio
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 at 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
308 and a quarter. $308 and a quarter.
308
and a quarter.
Now it's 308
or 808.
8 and a half. Let me turn
808.
that off.
Oh wait, my chair.
808. You see that? I had to turn the monitor so sideways in order for Kathy to see it. That
Her
8,
mic fell out.
And I'm falling apart here.
that 8 on the side of the panel looks like a 3. This is gonna be troublesome. This is gonna cause a problem. Robert, when it comes up to therapy time, I have something that I need to do with you, and at that point in time, you're gonna need a pen and a piece of paper. All right, you don't need it now.
I got it. Right
Okay,
here.
and
I'm at my desk. Look at this.
And I'll give you instructions later on.
All righty, sounds
All right.
great. Yes.
So if I just keep going on for another 8 seconds, is that right? I can't see this thing from that angle. 809 and a half. Does that
There it is.
Does that make your fancy there, Kathy?
All right, we're good.
Okay.
We're good. We got to hit that.
All right. Today is the
Michael.
today is the 21st day of July in the year 2020. Anno Domini. It is still hot in here, and this is the den, Ken's den.
The views expressed by the host during his monologue are those solely of his own, not those of Westfield State University, the Radio Club, Channel 15, myself, because I just don't give two whatevers anymore, and Jay Pagluka driving away down Greylock Street. And now...
Man.
Uh-oh.
You know what, Pete?
What's going on, Ken?
I spent some money last week I wasn't expecting to spend.
Okay.
A new computer was one of the things I bought.
Oh. Wow.
I had a perfectly good computer I used for video editing until it would not boot one morning.
Uh-oh.
Will not what?
Boot.
I almost had that
poop.
problem
I thought
this
you
morning.
said poop.
Basically, the disk partition where the master boot record resides went missing. That is where the BCD data file should exist. Your computer needs that in order to start your operating system.
Okay.
No matter what I did using BCD edit, disk part, or reg edit instruction strings at the command prompt when you dropped a DOS, I could not fix the problem. Are Kathy's eyes staring blindly into space right now?
I just glazed.
Yes.
And Pete knows exactly what I'm talking about. In the past 6 years, speaking of Pete, in the past 6 years since I've known Pete, I've never brought a computer to him to fix. I've always been able to repair any issue with my computers. After 12 hours, I needed to run a few of my steps past Pete, who determined I was screwed.
It was officially FUBAR.
At this point, I effectively went through the 5 stages of grief. Stage 1, denial.
It'll come back someday.
This is where I would not accept the fact that my computer was trashed. I would turn it off and on again multiple times and would try different recovery thumb drives. I tried to install new versions of the operating system.
Uh-oh.
All these attempts were futile.
Uh-oh.
Stage 2, anger.
Ha-ha.
This is where I punched the side of the computer.
Oops.
This is also when a bottle of red was opened.
Which led to stage 3?
I went on to another project,
Good point.
but could not concentrate on it because I was still pissed at my failure to fix a problem that I could actually see. Stage 3, bargaining.
Oh.
I searched for solutions on the interweb and came across a company that had software guaranteed to fix the problem I had. I decided that $40 after 12 hours of work to get the thing fixed would be worth it.
Okay.
The software did not fix my problem. I'm still waiting for my refund since I had a 30-day money-back guarantee. And after 5 requests, they still haven't honored it.
Oops.
So now
Oops.
Chase is involved.
Did you pay for it with PayPal?
No, credit card.
Oh, see, I do PayPal.
Yeah, I purposely did credit card because I could go right to them to,
Oh.
And then we're on to stage 4.
Uh-oh.
What's stage 4, Bob?
Deb, denial, anger, blame, bargaining, blame. Who did you blame?
Depression.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
4.
D for depression. Yes.
Depression.
Exactly. Yeah, depression.
This is where the thoughts of having to deal with my credit card company to get my refund started. It is also when I started to get dizzy. Not from the bottle of red, but from the thought of having to purchase a new computer. I'm just getting a business started after being out of work since March, and the pocketbook is a little light. And then stage 5.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Acceptance. One thing my father taught me as I was growing up, and kept reminding me when I started to get into serious relationships, was never to go to bed angry.
It's true.
I just had to accept that if I want to keep editing videos and to properly operate my new business, I was just going to have to shell out the coin for a new computer. The next day, with the help of Pete, I found the machine at a lower price than expected and ordered it. You'd think the story would end there.
No, not with you.
I went through the 5 stages of grief. Mm-hmm. Wrong. I decided to purchase some more gear.
Oh.
I just put debt on a credit card that had a 0 balance on it. Might as well make it count. In business, you have to take gambles. You have to invest and keep investing if you want to grow and succeed. I've been fortunate that I have had some initial business start to come in, but it's not the level that allows me to grow. In fact, I'm well below making what I was making before I was, furloughed permanently. I spent money on more machines for converting different forms of media. Hopefully I get my investments back. I bought a professional level 8mm and Super 8 film scanner, which digitizes that old film that exists on reels into a format I can manipulate on a computer and make them viewable on a DVD or thumb drive. And it converts 1 frame at a time. That's the right way to do it, actually.
1 frame at a time. How long will that take?
It can take an afternoon to do a 3-inch reel, Bob.
Oh, my word. No wonder you're going to charge big bucks.
I also bought a professional level slide and film scanner.
Ooh.
So I can put whatever image is on a slide or film negative into a computer and then make it so you can view it on a computer or screen or tablet or television. Sure, there are consumer level machines people can buy and do this stuff themselves, but it's low quality and it's tedious. Mm-hmm. I guess we'll find out in the not too distant future if I was smart or made a dumbass move. As I said a few weeks ago when I announced I was going to go into business for myself, and I did that because I really didn't have any other options. I have to take a swing, and I will hit or miss. I just can't sit on my tuchus and do nothing. Ultimately, I am taking the sole risk, too. I have not asked to borrow from a bank or a relative or friends. I have not started a GoFundMe campaign. In other words, I'm doing everything I do with this venture the right way, which I hope speaks to my character and integrity.
Oh.
Let's pay our bills. We'll be back right after this. That's your cue, Pete.
You're wondering who I am. Secret, secret, I've got a secret. Machine or mannequin. Secret, secret, I've got a secret. With parts made in Japan. Secret, secret, I've got a secret. I am the modern man. I've got a secret I've been hiding under my skin. My heart is human, my blood is boiling, my brain IBM. So if you see me acting strangely, don't be surprised. I'm just a man who needed someone and someone to hide to keep me alive. Just keep me alive. Somewhere to hide to keep me alive. I'm not a robot without emotions. I'm not what you see. I've come to help you with your problems so we can be free. I'm not a hero. I'm not a savior. Forget what you know. I'm just a man whose circumstances went beyond his control. Beyond my control. We all need control. I need control. We all need control. I am the modern man. Secret, secret, I've got a secret. Who hides behind a mask. Secret, secret, I've got a secret. So no one else can see. Secret, secret, I've got a secret. My true identity. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo, domo, domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo, domo, domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Thank you very much, oh Mr. Roboto, for doing what you asked to Mr. Wants to. And thank you very much, Mr. Roboto, for helping me escape to where I needed to. Thank you, Mr. Roboto. Thank you, Mr. Roboto. Mr. Roboto. Please, thank you, Mr. Roboto. The problem's plain to see. Too much technology. Machines to save our lives. Machines dehumanize.
Underwriting is brought to you by Boise Cascade Distribution, providing products and services needed for building material dealers, home improvement centers, and industrial customers. They offer everything from engineered wood and plywood to Drex decking and railing, James Hardy siding, and Advantech subfloor. Located at 33 Fowler Street Extension in Westfield and on the web at bc.com, they are committed to providing quality products, great service, convenience, and value.
I'm Mark Auerbach. Join me every Friday at 8 a.m. for Artsbeat, where you'll meet interesting actors, directors, designers, and musicians here in Western New England.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 at 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
I'm saving that look for a minute from now. Okay.
Thanks for telling me.
Yeah, maybe I should have. 'Cause I'm not quite ready to do something with Bob here. I just need to go through my housekeeping.
Okay.
I am Ken Stomsky. This is Ken's Den. I'm here just about each and every Tuesday. Over in the green room, which is what I like to call it.
The other bubble.
The other bubble.
The other bubble.
I like that. The other bubble.
It is Den Mother Extraordinaire. My finger slipped. There we go. The moo. She gets the moo cow. Kathy Palmer is my Robin Quivers today.
Maybe we should add the bear growl instead.
In the control room, let's try this again. Kitten of the Keys, Chairman Meow, Peter Coles. He's a little sleepy today, so he's not even going to acknowledge that.
I'm here.
But I do need him to acknowledge that I gave him something when I first came in. I gave him a sealed envelope, okay?
Okay.
There's something inside that envelope. You can see it sealed, and Pete is going to hold on to that during this entire thing that I'm going to do with Bob.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my God, he's going to do a magic trick. Mind reading or something.
Yeah, or we could just call it reverse therapy.
Reverse therapy.
And now it's time for therapy with Bob Plass.
Oh my God. Is that somebody at my door? Oh.
I have no idea.
Hey.
Hey, would you get that doorbell? It's probably a package you're waiting for, because I'm remote today, and I need to be remote because I think I developed some type of mental skill.
Let me get that fly.
I'm in the dark here.
Yeah.
You didn't listen to Bob's show then.
All right.
Please. Sit down, my friend.
Okay.
Sit down, Mr. Stomsky.
So now I need to address Bob straight on for this part.
Okay, I'm going to look at you straight on. Yeah.
There we go. Okay. So now you can actually see me, and I can see you fairly well.
Yeah, I'm looking right at you.
Now I just want you to just zone in with me and put your two fingers up on your forehead, just so that you're getting my vibe. Okay.
I'm feeling more,
all right, good.
More relaxed.
All right, good.
Feels like I've just purchased a lot of equipment.
Good, and you've got thank you for that. So you've got your pen and paper in front of you, right? You can put your fingers down now. I'm done doing distant.
Now
Reiki.
I got my pen and paper. Okay.
Okay, good. I want you
wait
to.
a minute. Hold it. I've lost the pen somewhere. Oh, geez. Wait a minute. I gotta get another one. Okay. There we go.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Kat and Kathy, you might just want to play along with this too.
Okay.
All right, and you're not any of the answers you get. You are not going to tell me. You're just going to write them down.
All right.
All right. So, Bob, I want you to think of a number 1 through 9. Okay.
Yeah. Got it.
I want you to multiply that number by 9.
Yeah.
Is that Van Halen I hear in the background?
Nope.
All right, you have a double-digit number, right?
I do.
All right, good. Now I want you to take that first number and just add it to the second number. Like if you got 12 for a number, you go 1 plus 2 is 3. So take those two numbers and just add them together.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now I want you to take that number
Mm-hmm.
and subtract 5 from it.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Imagine the alphabet is lined up with a bunch of numbers. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3,
Yeah.
D is 4, so on.
Yeah, there are only 26 of them, right?
Only 26, yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Right.
I don't know, whatever.
So
Go ahead.
I want you to take that letter that now represents your number. And
Well,
and,
wait
and
a minute. Wait a minute. My number is got two digits.
it shouldn't.
All right. I took my initial number and then I multiplied it by 9.
Right.
And then I came up with a number
Mm-hmm.
and it's 2 digits.
Yeah, and you add the first digit to the second digit.
Oh, for God's sakes. Oh,
See,
here we go.
Kathy, this is what I was talking about, Bob screwing up the math.
Terrible.
Okay.
I'm terrible.
All right,
at
so
this.
now
Okay, got
now
it.
you subtract 5 from that number, Bob.
Okay, got it.
All right. Now, this is where it's important for you to have done the math properly. Imagine A is 1,
Got it.
B
I
is
got it
2,
right.
C is 3, D is 4, etc. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, I need you to think about and if you can't think of it, you can Google it. You can ask James, but I just don't want to hear what you're doing. You just write down what
no.
you figure out.
I've
want you
got
to take.
I'm a therapist. I keep my mouth shut.
I want you to take that letter
Yeah.
that math exercise gave you, and I want you to think about a country in Europe that starts with that letter. Go ahead and do a Google search on your phone if you need to.
I'm
Ask
not
James.
sure that this is in Europe. I think it. Oh, of course, it is in Europe.
Okay, so you have a country.
Yeah.
Okay, so write that down.
Yeah. Got it.
All right. Now, take the name of that country that you just came up with
Yeah.
and look at the last letter of that country.
Yes.
I need you to think of an animal that starts with that letter. Do you have one?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
There we are.
Now, this is where I start to lose a little bit of contact, and I just need to concentrate a little bit more on you.
Oh my God.
All
what
right,
if I
I'm getting into
screwed you
Bob's
up?
head.
I could ruin your mental state
So
just by
take
screwing up.
that animal that you came up with
Yeah.
and look at the last letter of that animal.
Yes.
All right? That last letter,
Yeah, I got it.
I want you to think of a color that starts with that letter.
Got it.
Okay. I think I should have properly put a thought into your head a little while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peter.
Yes, sir.
Would you open up that package and read the paper inside of it?
Oh God, this is like Creston. What was the name? Kreskin?
Yeah, from Carson.
Carson. Oh no.
Oh no, that was a different one.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Johnny Carson.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So after you read it, show it to the camera. Just
On
to
July
prove it.
20th at 5:30, Ken Stomsky predicts that on July 21st at 8:30, he will make Bob Plass Think about an orange kangaroo in Denmark.
What are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
That's funny.
What do you mean?
There it is.
Denmark, kangaroo, and orange.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that for a minute, Bob?
Bob, Kenny's officially in your head.
You can leave your $50 on the counter.
How is that possible?
This morning, I turned on the telly, and all I can say is, Jumping Jehoshaphat, yeehaw!
Oh, my.
See, I was when I was speaking with Kathy right before the show. I said I'm just concerned about Bob and the math part of this.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I was at 55 before I got that 4.
Yeah.
How is that possible? Kathleen, can you explain this?
No, but I was listening to Ken. I haven't looked at it. I'd have to look at the formula again.
Mm-hmm.
But I did the same thing you did because it's the way you worded it. I had that 2-digit number too, Bob, and it was the way you worded it.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't say add the 2 digits together.
Well, I gave an example with
not until you had
12.
to correct it. Yeah.
No. But before I said, so if you get 12, you add 1 and 2, and it's 13.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that, Bob? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I did. No, I heard that.
Yeah, he heard it and ignored it.
Yeah, I got it. I got 54. 54, and then 6 times 9.
You know, there was no force here. He picked his own number, and he picked the
That's true.
He picked the country on his own.
Yeah.
There was no force involved here at all. I got into his brain.
There's another formula like this that you do with your birth date, and you add something, and I don't know what it is. I'll look it up for you. Yeah. You can do this again. You can get another
of
victim.
all things, it was an orange kangaroo in Denmark. Come on, that's not something that you would just.
I'm telling you.
No,
You've
no.
really...
I had to.
All right, I need to look at this.
I had to get into your brain, man. How do you like that? How do you like them apples?
Ken, why would you
Mr.
want to be
Therapist?
in Bob's brain?
Because now I know I can do it.
Oh, isn't it? While you're in there, could you buy me another computer? Could you buy me a computer? Because I'm still needing a computer.
I thought you bought one.
No, I didn't buy one. No, because it was going to be too much money. I needed to have it in the area of 5,000. Now I've got $500.
Sometimes, Bob, you need to pay for something that's going to last a little bit.
Well,
it's like buying a washing machine.
No, I'm willing to go up even as high as 6 or 7. How much did you pay for yours, Mr. Ken?
I'm an exception to the rule here. I bought a refurbished machine that I need to deal with on my own.
Oh, I got it. Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah.
So I found.
I told him we could find him something on the HP list, and he didn't want to listen.
I found an HP Pavilion, 14 inches, 8 gigabytes.
Okay, you gigolo.
And 256 gigabytes.
Gigabytes for the gigolo.
Yeah, it's the RAM is the RAM is 8. Could that be? Is that good? 8.5.
Really.
For you, it's good. I myself got 16 on my machine. I also got a 2 terabyte drive.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, enough about me. Enough about me.
It's been all about you this morning. Anyway, I made it all about you, and then ultimately it was all about me being all about you.
If I had screwed that up, would I have screwed you up?
Oh yeah.
Would you have needed therapy?
No. I would be chastising you for not being smart enough to do simple third grade math.
I would have gotten you angry, and that's not an unpleasant. It's an unpleasant feeling.
Yeah, that would bring me back to stage 2.
That's exactly right, and so because I didn't want you to go to stage 2, I did it correctly. Therefore, leave me that $50 on your way out, please.
I blow his mind, and he's still looking for the money.
Hey. It's a tough world.
A man's got to work. A man's got to work. Hey, I'll tell you what. I'll give you a sofa in my mind here. There's a nice bed. Just go in that room in my mind and lie down.
Huh?
Lie down in my mind.
Got it.
Edith, would you? Huh?
This is Cock and Locker.
That always gets me every time. Every time. I love Mrs. Cockenlocker.
TMI. I just stop it, Bob. Just stop.
Is it time for me to go? Is it time for me to go?
Is Regis and Kathy Lee coming up?
Yeah, I have to get ready. I have to cook my little breakfast before then.
Mm-hmm.
Take my pill. I probably should have taken it beforehand, but I didn't. You know. So I'm going to email you the latest that Amazon sent me. It was $560 something for a 14-inch pavilion. I'm going to email both you boys there and see if that will work. Kathleen, you're looking sweet. I love you. I love you guys. Talk to you soon. I'm leaving.
Have a good
I'm
week.
taking my kangaroo.
Hop on that orange kangaroo and head over to Denmark, would you?
I'm going to Denmark. We're going to have some Danish. All right.
All right, Pete.
Bye. Love you.
See you, Bob.
See ya.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Dental. Comprehensive dentistry at 14 convenient locations in Springfield, Chicopee, Longmeadow, West Springfield, Belchertown, East Longmeadow, Ludlow, Northampton, Greenfield, and Wilbraham, as well as 29 Broad Street in Westfield. Bay State Dental makes it a priority to help you achieve and maintain the healthy smile you deserve. On the web at baystatedental.com.
Listen to me, Michael Buster McMahon, Mondays 8 to 10 a.m. to learn the stories behind your favorite songs. Or don't. I'm not the boss of you.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
I must admit there have been some moments that were, dare I say, fun.
Just for you, Kathy.
On the road to Rhode Island, we're having the time of our lives. Take it, dog.
We're quite a pair of partners, just like Thelma and Louise. Except you're not 6 feet tall.
Yes, and your breasts don't reach your knees.
Give it time.
We're off on the road to Rhode Island. We're certainly going in style.
I'm with an intellectual who craps inside his pants.
How dare you? At least I don't leave urine stains on all the household plants.
Oh, pee jokes.
We've traveled a bit and we've found, like a masochist in Newport, we're Rhode Island bound.
Crazy travel conditions, huh?
First class and new class.
Whoa, careful with that joke. It's an antique.
We're off on the road to Rhode Island. We're not gonna stop till we're there.
Maybe for a beer. Whatever dangers we may face, we'll never fear or cry.
That's right, until we're syndicated. Fox will never let us die. Please, we're off on the road to Rhode Island, the home of that old campus swing.
We may pick up some college girls and picnic on the grass.
We'd tell you more, but we would have the sensors on our ass.
Yikes.
We certainly do get
That made me nervous.
around. Like a bunch of renegade pilgrims who were thrown out of Plymouth Colony, we're Rhode Island bound. Or like a group of college freshmen who were rejected by Harvard and forced to go to Brown. We're Rhode Island bound.
In the form of a show tune, so I figured you would like that one.
Well, yeah, but people today don't even remember those movies. Do you remember those movies?
I come across them
Bob Hope and Bing
on
Crosby.
TCM every now and then.
Yep, the road movies. They were very popular. Road to Hong Kong. They were popular back in the 40s and 50s.
Mm-hmm.
People today don't know who those people were.
See, now if Bob didn't take off to go watch Regis and Kathy Lee, he would have he would have understood this road to Rhode Island.
He would, indeed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Indeed he would. You've been up too late at night looking for things again, Ken. Really?
This all comes down to a marathon period of work. I think on New Year's Day that I just downloaded, but it took me forever, and it took me to get fired in order to sit down and actually try to edit and cut some of them out.
Well, no,
I told you. Now that you're
don't be harsh. You weren't fired. It was just beyond anyone's control. COVID-19's been a tough buddy to work with.
Yeah. And because you're a good buddy to work with, that's why I told you I've got a different one now every week that you're in here for quite some time now.
Oh, gee, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It should be fun. It should be fun. I'm not going to learn the words to that, though. I'm not singing it. You had me a little worried with some of it.
Yeah,
I didn't know where it was going.
Afterthought, I should have played that while Bob was still on.
I know. He would have loved it. He would have known. He knows Bing Crosby.
Speaking of which, I bet you right now he's sitting in his rocker going back and forth. How did Ken do that? How did Ken do that? How did Ken do that?
I think you blew his mind finally. I think you finally did it, Ken.
You think?
Yep. I think you got him.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to download that. And
if you did do that.
Where's the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
Kaboom!
Now, that would have been great to play, Pete, if
I thought about it.
What am I?
If I failed.
No.
But you did not fail.
That's why I played the Jumpin' Jehoshaphat Yeehaw.
How did that feel, Pete, reading that prediction?
I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah. It's such a weird thing to come up with, an orange kangaroo in Denmark.
Now, where did you come up with all this?
I've known this for 30-something years, this routine.
Okay.
Yeah. I should say I learned how to get into people's heads over 30 years ago. Yeah. I actually hung out with some students at the psych in the psych department over at UMass when I was working up in that area, and they taught me how to telepathically get into people's heads.
Okay, what am I?
How else would you explain that, Kathy?
What am I thinking now?
You are thinking, Ken. I think you're full of bull.
You did it! Oh my God, Peter, he did it! He did it!
I was thinking you miss your cats.
No.
I have 2 cats right now that are in finally New Zealand.
See, I thought you'd be finally down to an even dozen by now.
Well, we're down. It's exciting to be down, and I don't plan on increasing it.
That's going to reduce our date time in the pet food aisles.
It is. It is. Honestly, she had one cat. My daughter had one cat that was gigantic. He was 20 pounds. It was really funny because the man who came to pick them up, I said, well, be careful because they're in these big carrying cases. I said, I've got a cat that's really, really heavy. So be careful. And he went to pick it up and he said, oh, yeah, you're right. It is. That wasn't the heavy cat. That wasn't the 20-pounder. Mm.
Did you step on your microphone cable again? I saw your
No.
microphone loosen up.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm good.
All right.
I'm good.
All right.
All is good over here
All right.
in my own little room.
Mm-hmm.
In my own
I
little
still say,
corner in my own
I must be a genius, Kathy, because
You
A,
are.
I got into Bob's head, and then B, I put you in behind that window so you could get back in here.
I can get back in here.
I'm gonna cut that out, that thing that I did with Bob. And I'm going to make a little short, and I'm going to put it out on social media.
Okay.
And I think I might just edit out the part where he does the bad math so we can just get through it. I think I'm going to put that out there.
You should. You should.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, looking through my stuff, today is Marion Pegluca's birthday today.
Happy
Jay never
birthday,
mentioned
Marion.
it.
That might have been why Jay left a little earlier than
That
usual.
is why he left, yes.
Happy birthday, Marion.
Yeah, happy birthday, Marion.
Yeah, he didn't have a big fancy button shirt on, so I bet you there's a day trip that might be happening today.
Yeah, I would think so.
Mm-hmm. So what some people might call a day trip, Kathy might consider a walk from one end of her property to the other.
Could be.
And you've been coming across some things over on your property there, haven't you?
Oh, man. All I wanted to do was play ball with my dog. We go out every day. I go out with my border collie and we play ball in the afternoon, sometime between, 6 and 7. And being a border collie knows what time it is, so he gets all excited. And so yesterday we went out and I'm just in my yard throwing the ball and all of it. And I don't know why I bothered to look up, but I looked over and there's this 400-pound bear walking down the sidewalk into my yard, as happy as could be. And he's standing there looking at me, and he was a big boy.
Mm-hmm.
And I say male because there were no cubs, so I'm jumping to the conclusion that it was a male.
Mm-hmm.
And thank goodness he was probably maybe 40 feet away from me. He was pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
And black bears, by nature, I can't let this go, Ken. I can't. Black bears, I know, the teacher in me, they're nearsighted. They see well within about 10 feet. So they don't really see you all that well if you're outside of that periphery. And he just stood still, and thank God I have the border collie because I immediately said, Wilson, come. Wilson, in. And he just walked to the door, and in we went. And no, I did not take pictures. I just went back to my door, and I hollered and he ran away, for which I was eternally grateful.
Come on, Kathy. You know the policy. Pictures or it didn't happen.
It didn't, and that's what my daughter-in-law said. She said, "Well, if you didn't take pictures, it didn't happen." And then they were yelling at me for being out in the yard. So you can't have it both ways, folks. Yeah, but he's been around a lot. So I'm adding bear to coyotes to rattlesnakes. I think I'm moving to the city. This is just not good.
Raccoons?
Oh, yeah. I was sitting out on my deck a week or so ago just reading. It was night. It was dark out. It doesn't bother me. I'm not afraid of it. And I looked over on the deck, and there was this gigantic raccoon looking at me right up on my deck. Like, hi, how are you? Good to see you. I did have a city person.
You're impeding my way to food.
Yeah, well, there's no food there, but I had a city person, and I say that kindly, tell me there was a beaver in my yard. And I said,
Woodchuck.
No, it was a woodchuck.
Woodchuck, yeah.
We don't.
Was it chucking wood?
It was chucking wood. It was chucking wood.
Did you tell that woodchuck to stop chucking wood?
Stop chucking wood.
Hey, woodchuck, stop chucking wood.
We did have beavers. We had
Geico.
beavers several years ago, and they were nasty. They built a huge dam in our brook, and it really raised the level of the brook.
I hate nasty beavers.
Yeah, and you can't take them out. You're not allowed to take them out, but the railroad took them out because it was undercutting the railroad track further down. So I've seen beaver. I've had mink. I've actually had mink in the brook, and I've had muskrat in the brook. But it's so low right now, there's nothing. There's nothing.
Is it low because of what they did up at the top of the mountain there?
No, I think it's just low because we haven't had any rain at all, so it's...
Oh, really? 22, who's working for us, actually put up a graph, and we had more rain so far in July this year than we did last year.
Well, last year wasn't very good either. Luckily, though, the rain we've had has come at the right times.
I'm figuring you also get skunk and possum there, too?
Oh, God, yes. Oh, God, yes. We have possums all over the place, and they do play dead. They do. They do that. I was coming out of the door one day with the dog, and we went around the corner and laying right in the middle of the path because it heard us coming. It's literally laying in a ball, and you would swear it was dead. You would swear it was dead. And then it got up and ran away. So
moose?
We've had moose.
Yeah.
I have a picture of.
Okay.
I do have a picture of a moose out in my field.
So if you had moose at some point, you probably had deer.
We have deer all the time. We see deer all the time.
And turkey?
Deer are like vermin.
Wild turkey. Yeah, we got a lot of wild turkey.
What about pheasant? Because you're near some water there.
I haven't seen any pheasants. I have seen, we have the blue herons. Last year we had a snowy egret. I haven't seen the egret. And I haven't seen, because the water's so low, I've only seen the heron 2 or 3 times. We have bald eagle. What's his name? Rick Berry. Rick Berry said he sees a golden eagle. He's on the other side of the river from me, and he's seen a golden. And knowing Rick, I'm pretty sure he knows what he's looking at.
Yeah,
so.
Rick's a pretty smart guy.
Yeah, I would say he knows. Hawks, tons of hawks, tons of hawks. So
falcons, turkey, vultures.
You must see I'll bet you've seen the bald eagle down by where you are.
Yeah, I've seen them out there. Yeah,
they follow that river up and down. Yep.
Yeah. Something I follow more closely than animals in my backyard is the newspaper. And I saw you in the paper last week. Yeah.
Trying to dig a hole for myself.
Or dig a hole for something.
Dig a hole.
Yeah, what's going on there?
Yeah, well, we are finally trying to make the Westfield Women's Club handicap accessible. We were grandfathered in, of course, for a long time because we didn't have if you're grandfathered in before the rules came through on handicap accessibility, you didn't have to follow those rules, but we have. It's hurt us. It's hurt the building.
And until you want to make a structural change to the building, then you got to all of a sudden come up with a lot of money.
Yeah, and we did, and you know what? The city of Westfield really stepped up to help us out and help us pay for it. The preservation committee really has been so helpful, and Cindy Gaylord stepped up to the plate 100% and went to bat for us. So I have to say thank you to her. And
Well, she has a lot more time now because she just retired.
She did retire.
Yeah.
She's on 2 city committees, though. She's been busy with
Yeah,
that.
she won't have time. When people get a hold of her, like me, once they get a hold of you and they say, oh, well, they can do this, she won't have a lot of spare time.
Yeah.
But, of course, a lot of the projects we've been doing have come to a halt, and that's happened with Cindy, too, with COVID. So hopefully we'll get back in the swing of things, but it should be handicapped accessible by the 1st of October. So
All right.
hopefully.
Just in time for the Gaslight Entertainment winter season.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
well, you know, we're all waiting, Peter. We're waiting to
You know,
hear
the
what
problem is-
Well, I know
now.
that the Berkshire Theater Group is going to open with
They
limited
are.
seating. They're going to do some stuff, and I think
are.
Barrington Stage is going to open as well.
But are those places larger than 300 people?
No, they've removed half the seats.
No, I'm talking about you in a normal life.
I don't know.
You know, because,
depending on which stage.
Because we figure out 300 over at the women's club.
No, it's closer to
220,
maybe
225.
245. But
Yeah.
for
okay.
good viewing seats,
Mhm.
it's really about 185.
Oh, okay.
You get more than that, and it's hard to see. And the problem is, for example, even with our spring shows, the overhead to put a show on.
Yeah, you're not going to make
you
your money.
can't with selling 100 seats. You can't make it
Yeah.
expensive.
And I think 100 might be too much in order to do proper spacing in that location.
It
do you
depends
think?
on what they're going to tell us.
If whether it's see if it's 3 feet, then
3 feet we can do it.
3
6
feet you can do it. 6 feet you can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be dicey.
Yeah.
It'll be
So we
dicey.
still don't know if that's going to happen.
No, we don't know, and we're waiting to see what the governor says.
Mm-hmm.
Even, for example, a place like the Women's Club to function with luncheons. You know, if you've got to be 6 feet away,
Mm-hmm.
we don't know. We're just waiting to see what they tell us.
Mm-hmm.
So, who can say at this point?
So, until then, we can just, sit back on our couch in front of our air conditioning, watching Maury and...
What a lot of groups are doing, they've got things going online, but of course that doesn't generate an income.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing like 1-person or 2-person shows. Again, are people going to come?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jay and I were talking about that this morning with Gaslight. Are people going to come if we go inside again?
Right.
They're not. How are the restaurants doing? Are they going inside? Do you know?
You're going. A lot
Haven't
of people.
been.
I've been going. You can go inside for almost all restaurants now.
And are people going in though, Peter?
I think people are. A lot of people are still preferring to dine outside because they're not completely educated on what's going on and whatever. But I notice a lot of restaurants are going to extensive links to make sure it's as safe as it can be.
If it's anything like it was when Pete and I were in Florida in May.
We're socially distanced.
Yeah,
already.
the tables were socially distanced. All the servers and staff had masks on. The menus
That's
were
the way it is up
the
here,
menus
too.
were reusable. So if it was
a lot of restaurants are going to QR codes. They're putting QR codes, so you shoot it with your phone, and then you get the menu will pop up on your phone.
my 76-year-old father would love doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no problem with that, but I can see some.
I mean, we went to
people
Sox
going,
the other
"Ooh."
night.
He has a flip phone because that's what he
Yep.
deals with.
I know
Yeah.
people who have
Yeah.
that. One of my friends is a doctor, and he still uses the flip phone. I make fun of him relentlessly.
Yeah, so they're not going to be able to. Well, if they can't do a QR code, I guess they'll just have to be a verbal thing. But I didn't have an issue with how they were doing things down south, and if it's similar up here, I don't see a reason why people shouldn't be going out
We
to a
went
restaurant.
to Friday night. I took Christy out to Sox, and we sat up on the patio because she wanted. It wasn't because she was scared to be in the downstairs. She just wanted to be.
That's
Yeah.
that's a better area to begin with.
I agree, Peter.
She wasn't scared, so we went upstairs to the patio and sat up there.
I'd rather be outside, honestly. In the summer, I'd sit outside anytime.
I can't
Get
stand
shortstop.
being
I always
outside
have
and
to be
eating
outside.
because it makes me ill. Actually,
You're kidding.
no.
Why?
No, it's just the heat and then eating hot food, and I can't eat outside.
See, we had a
when
good
it's hot.
time. We had a good time outside.
And I would have no problem hanging out in the patio, having a cocktail watching the planes. But I don't think I could eat out there in 90-degree heat.
I eat out on my deck all the time. Well, I used to.
I had a friend,
Maybe
his
not
name was
now.
Phil, and it'd be 85, 90 degrees. We'd be down on the Cape, and he'd get a fried fisherman's platter with all the heavy fried stuff. And, I'm eating outside right at that picnic table. Didn't even have an umbrella or anything on it. And I'm like, oh, my, how are you not getting ill?
Interesting. That's
wow.
interesting. I prefer out there anytime.
Yeah, we did that on Friday night. We did that, and then we went for a nice long drive up into Sunderland and stuff like that. I wanted to show her
that's beautiful up there,
just a nice
Peter.
drive for a Friday night. And with all the stuff going on in her personal life, she was like, "Thank God, this is I just needed to." It was nice. She's real happy about that.
9:04 and a half. I'm 4.5 minutes past my top. I wanted to extend things out just to see how things were gonna play out with who might be coming in, and I think I'm gonna see if I have any messages on my phone, in case that might have changed. But
Somebody's coming down. That's him.
I apologize to Pete for running over, but
That's
hey,
fine. He's coming in now.
It happens. Take me away, Calgon.
Take me away.
Burn down the store. Take what you want and more. Shop until you drop. Voodoo consumer never stop. Load up on supplies. No sale, no compromise. Gun crazy down the mall. Voodoo consumer, take it all. Eat this, drink this, try this, charge it, it's fabulous. Step right up and take it, it's fabulous. If you can't afford it, fake it. Be deviously dangerous, ridiculously cool. Let's make it fabulous. 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 Drive me to the bank. Kneel down and give me thanks. Grab your credit card, voodoo consumer, kiss me hard. Eat this, drink this, try this, charge it, it's fabulous. Step right up and take it, it's fabulous. If you can't afford it, fake it. Be deviously dangerous, ridiculously cool. Let's make it fabulous. Take it all too far. Sell the company car. A bargain come too late. Voodoo consumer terminate. Eat this, drink this, try this, buy this, wear this, fly this, play this, charge it, it's fabulous. Step right up and take it, it's fabulous. If you can't afford it, fake it. Be deviously dangerous, ridiculously marvelous, meticulously treacherous, disarduously cruel. Just make it fabulous. 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 Fabulous.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield. Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Listen to me, Michael Buster McMahon, Mondays 8 to 10 a.m. to learn the stories behind your favorite songs. Or don't. I'm not the boss of you.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 at 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
We're all wearing black. What is that?
All right, we're going to do it once more. And this time, no mistakes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good morning. Good morning.
It's great to stay up late.
Good morning. Good morning to you.
When the band began to play, the stars were shining bright.
But now the milkman's on his way. It's too late to say goodnight.
So say good morning.
Ah, good morning. Sunbeams will still smile.
Good morning to you.
Nothing could be grander than to be in Louisiana in the morning. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were still going.
My favorite.
9:10 on the nose.
Ah,
It is the 21st day of July in the year 2020, Anno Domini. This is the Den, and in the Den is Chef John Slattery. All right,
I'm
and
not hearing you.
we need to turn a microphone up.
I got it.
All right, and
I had to find out which one he was on.
He was on one.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for telling me.
Yeah. All right, let's try that again.
Gotcha now.
And here in the studio is Chef John Slattery.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you on this fine and wonderful morning?
Fantastic. It's
Great.
lovely.
How was the traffic coming in today?
Actually heavy. I hit the exact people probably on their way to their 9:30 jobs or Springfield for 10 o'clock traffic this morning.
All right. So I was just trying to keep that whole radio announcer thing going on there, and you took it legit.
Oh, the report is that the traffic is heavy on Route 20 West.
Speaking of Route 20, there was I saw you post it on social media yesterday. There was a piece of freight traveling along Route 20 that gave you the heebie-jeebies the other day.
Yeah, I didn't see it this time, but some friends of mine in the West.
Oh,
I'm going to have you
try
just bring your microphone up a little closer or get closer to it.
Yeah, I
Is it
can.
not working? Can we not hear me?
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, just, you can use a knob to tighten it up if you need it to stay in place.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
technical.
Lefty loosey, righty tighty.
Look.
Okay, look at that.
Hello?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ow.
Gotcha.
I don't hear anything.
Okay, so you had some freight that went through town that gave you the heebie-jeebies.
Well, just a little, like only because I've seen too many bad horror movies. Did you ever see Toxic Avengers? Any of those movies?
Not that one, no.
No, but so any of the radioactive waste things always get me like a little thinking. But it's funny that we're on a major route where decommissioned fuel rods are sent down to the storage facility and wherever that part of the country is now, past down Route 20 or on the rail.
Yeah, they were burying the stuff down in New Mexico or something somewhere.
That's what what I had heard back in the day, and who knows if it was full or empty, but it's going in the direction of the travel. So,
right.
But a pretty neat, huge canister of cement and steel.
Looks like a big dumbbell.
What I remember is I think there's the amount of content of bad stuff inside is so small it's probably smaller than this table, but they need all that protection to make it safe.
Yeah.
Those things are supposed to be indestructible. So.
Yeah, a ICBM could hit that thing, and the only radiation you'd have is from the ICBM. I mean, speaking of ICBMs, Pete last week was relaying a video from a Minotaur launch down at Wallops.
Yeah. An old Reagan era peacekeeper.
Yeah.
Is that what was going up? I watched that same video that you were announcing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
I watched it from my house with the kids, and
So our friend Keith Kohler, thought he was the guy, the voice you heard from NASA. On
The guy with the
commentary.
southernish accent.
Sure, yeah,
that was Keith. Yeah,
that's wicked fun that you know that.
Yeah.
I've been being able to go down to some of those kind of things and stuff. That's really cool.
Mm.
But that was
I thought it was too.
That was national security undeclassified national security payload.
NRO,
so
yeah.
I was very suspicious of whatever that could be. Of course,
spy satellite.
Right, another one. Why not?
Yeah. But I think it was probably too cloudy though for you to go out back and actually see that.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't see it. But there was also something which I didn't know was an actual thing yet, but there was actually one of the first things for the Space Force on that flight as well. I heard them mention in the
It wasn't the first flight, but it's like the third or fourth, I think.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So after seeing that Minotaur take off, I need to convince Pete that we need to go down
I wanted to go to that one because I knew it had some giddy up.
Yeah. That was
it's like shooting off a bottle rocket.
That was a fast rocket. I mean, it does not throttle up. It just
it's solid
turns
fuel.
It turns on,
and
that's it.
All solid fuel. So an ICBM is meant to get from here to there quickly.
Yeah.
It doesn't need a throttle. It just needs to go.
Right.
And that's all it is just a refurbished ICBM.
Now, whatever the launching mechanism at the top is reusable, is going to come back and they'll retrieve it? Or
that's a SpaceX thing.
Yeah.
No, the satellite, I think that's just they can launch into the same orbit, low Earth orbit like everybody else. It's just not as much weight. They can't carry as much weight.
Oh, he's talking about the booster that.
No. Those are solid fuel. They're toast.
So you're talking about the solid fuel booster on the bottom. Then there's something on top.
No, it's all solid fuel.
Everything is solid fuel on one of those.
There's just one small payload going up after, but with all that power kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not one of those.
But that thing hit max Q in 30 seconds.
It was less than that.
Yeah. I mean, I've never seen one of these things just take off like a bat out of hell like that. And then the pitch coming off that thing was nutty. I've got to see that in person.
They don't launch Minotaurs very often, but yeah, that was impressive.
Yeah.
So that means that's something really, really important. They want to get up there really fast. So, cool.
Could be. I hope everything's going to be cleared up for travel in September. Because there's a launch coming up.
I'm going.
Yeah, I'm already booked. I've got the hotel booked.
I'm going. I don't know if we're gonna be able to see it on base or not. I gotta ping Keith, but we know some spots. We've been down there enough. We know some spots where we can see it.
I think we need to get very early to that place in the middle of the causeway down there.
That's a good spot. Yep.
Yeah.
Can't you get right to the press box though if you use your credentials from WCPC?
It depends on whether they're allowing people on. For Florida, they didn't allow people on the base
because of the
the pandemic.
Yeah.
They might still be closed.
Yeah. And I don't think they let people on for the Minotaur because it was a secret.
NRL, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
But that would have been a nice one to shoot from our spot.
Yeah, because that pad was just a little further. Was it a little further south than
couple hundred
pad OA?
200 yards, maybe.
Yeah. See, now we're talking real technical and specific, and I shouldn't be doing that. I've got Chef here. We should be talking about food and not
food.
space.
All right, I got a question for Chef right off the bat.
Okay.
Somebody gave me garlic chard.
Cool.
Now, it seems to be, I didn't use it as chard, but now something seems to be forming on it, and I don't know if that's a garlic bulb forming on it.
Oh, are you talking the scapes, like the top curly things?
The garlic, they called it garlic chard. It's like a long, almost like grass.
Yeah.
And there's something forming. I don't know if it's a garlic bulb forming.
So it sounds more like a scape, and I don't know, which is the top of the garlic plant that they chop off and has the little curly thing, looks like a long thing of grass. But it could be I've never heard of garlic chard, but I've heard of garlic chives and, like I said, the scapes.
I've heard of Swiss chard.
The scape top will swell up into a head like the garlic flower, and eventually it will dry out and make a little tiny head of garlic kind of thing. It's interesting. And those actually become garlic seeds that you can grow. I actually will save them, the top of the garlic scape, from year to year, and you can grow them as new garlic plants.
Okay.
Have you ever tried doing that with?
But I eat them too. Or cook them up.
With the top of a pineapple up here.
I have never made that work with the pineapple plant.
Yeah.
I've grown a lot.
I think it's our climate, maybe.
But I think also sometimes they're treated so that they're not supposed to reproduce some of the things that they do to mass produce ones. They have to get a good
genetically modified.
That kind of stuff.
Kathy, did you ever take the top of a pineapple plant and put it in soil to see if it would grow?
No.
I remember that when I was a kid, but I never did.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we did that with carrots.
Oh, okay.
But I've never tried it with
I have
the
friends that have
pineapple.
done it locally, but they have greenhouses or really sunny windows, and they just have had good luck with it, I guess. So I know it can be done. I've seen the results, but I have not.
Apparently, this is wild garlic. It could be wild garlic.
Wild garlic. Cool. So, yeah, if it's going to a bulb, then it's going to be like the seed head, the top. And if you dry it out, you can make another seasoning out of it, basically, or grow them.
Interesting.
Wild garlic, also known as onion grass.
Onion grass.
Onion grass.
Yeah.
Maybe want to grow that next to some lemongrass.
Well, in that same exact vein.
I'm sorry.
It's a perennial bulb-forming species of wild onion native to Europe, northwestern Africa, and the Middle East. And she said that species is introduced in Australia and North America. She's one of her neighbors grows it, and says swears it tastes just like regular garlic.
Yeah, that's great. It sounds kind of like something like the garlic chive kind of thing, like the flat leaves.
Yeah,
I've
maybe
had
similar.
before.
Yeah.
And if you've got that seed thing, it might be something that you dry it out and you can grow more of it if you're into gardening or put it in a pot. I saved 2 ramp bottoms and potted them, the roots, and they successfully bloomed, blossomed, and now are potted and forming seed heads. So I'll have.
So you're gonna have ramps in the summertime.
I have seeds to start my own ramp bed from these 2 bulbs that I started. I'll have a handful of seeds, so that'd be exciting.
It looks like you've been picking other things from your garden too.
Yeah, lots of good stuff growing right now. I have a very small garden because I only grew things that people in my family would eat for vegetables, and that's 0. So I definitely would eat. Well, it's 1.5. I have green beans that they like, and carrots that'll be ready soon, and cucumbers. But I've been fighting the squash beetles. Cucumbers? Anybody grow cucumbers? Those little tiny beetles with the yellow stripes, or they have spotted ones, and they will destroy the flowers and then stop the little baby fruit from being able to be pollinated by the bees.
Okay, that sucks.
Yeah, terrible. I lost the first 8 baby female cucumbers to that problem, but as I started being resilient and killing them, the bees got to do their work, and now I have some cucumbers.
Now, would it be any varietal of cucumbers? Like, could you put in Kirby's and it wouldn't touch them, or?
There are probably varietals that farmers grow that have been genetically modified that are less susceptible to attracting the beetles, but these bugs are pretty indiscriminate. They go for what is cool. I started a pumpkin from a leftover pumpkin, the seeds. I started a bunch of pumpkin seeds. I just threw the whole seeds from the dried pumpkin from last year into a pot, and they all grew. So I had these pumpkin plants in little pots everywhere, and they're all flowering right now with their boy flowers. There's no signs of pumpkins in sight yet because it's too early, but there's tons of flowers, and the beetles are drawing up to those flowers, and I can, because they're in the same family, and I can go find them in there and eradicate the little guys.
Okay.
I never had luck with gardens. Tomatoes, I'd get a couple a year. Cucumbers, I might get 1 or 2 that were 3 inches long. I mean,
really?
Yeah, I tried fertilizing.
Is that your
tried water.
Soil?
I never had the soil tested, but there's probably something going on with the soil, and I probably need to dig it out and.
In most places, either without doing lots of amendments to the soil, you really better stuff container gardening so you can control what you're putting into the.
Yeah.
You can be really lazy, Ken. You can go to the garden store and buy the plastic bag and just set it on the ground and cut a hole in it and stick plants in it. And as long as you remember to water it, it'll do its thing. So try next year.
Get a couple of 5-gallon buckets and
5-gallon pails work too. That's what I use a lot of, or plastic totes, and you even use cardboard boxes. The National Gardener so she just said plant stuff. You put dirt in a container that'll hold it, and it'll likely grow. So as long as it's got drainage, there's more.
I didn't do a garden this year. I have done gardens in the past, and I haven't had any issues.
That means I'm not going to get any turnip.
No, we didn't plant the turnip. Well, we don't plant the turnip until the end of summer, but it didn't happen, and we've given up planting the sweet corn. We've just given up.
Those coyotes.
Oh, they're terrible. They just love that sweet corn. They just chomp it down. And the bears do too. The bears. I love the bears.
The bears.
Oh.
You know what? I just
Kenny's in a rampage today.
That's an old SNL routine.
What's your favorite fresh garden vegetable to eat?
You deserve that.
My favorite what?
Fresh garden vegetable to eat. Like if you could just walk out and pick one and either eat it right out of the garden or go into the house and rinse it off and slice it and eat it, what would you?
I'm torn between 2, and they're one for sure is not a vegetable; it's a fruit. that being tomato.
Tomato. Yep.
Yeah.
Tomato.
And then other, cucumber actually, yeah.
I gotta go corn or summer squash. I love summer squash.
Yellow squash or corn.
The
Matter of
best.
fact, my brother just gave me two nice, good-sized squashes for dinner. So I'm gonna go buy a nice steak, saute some squash with onion or garlic or both, and yummy in my tummy.
See, that's the thing with squash. If you're successful with getting it growing, it just bombards you at one point.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, we had squash coming out of our ears. What's your favorite?
I like peas are my favorite.
Okay.
Probably, to snap off and eat right there in the garden. And my true favorite is a carrot straight out of the dirt.
Really?
Just washed off or knocked off. It's got such a flavor that no carrot tastes like once they've been refrigerated. Or
Are you talking umami-ish in that case, or just or sweeter?
Wait, hold it.
There he goes
What?
again.
What?
Umami.
And
it's an extended taste, much like sweet, sour, hot, bitter.
I'm sure there's a word for it in this culture that's not unami, that it would be fresh.
Okay.
Another taste, because that's, in a sense, the taste of the sun or the livingness of the thing that you're eating through eating it. So that's probably another name that we should research at some point in time.
Are you serious, Kathy?
No, I meant it. I had no
You never
idea.
umami. Okay,
No,
umami.
I had
Think
no idea what you're talking
think
about.
fish sauce, Worcestershire sauce, soy sauce.
It's like a sour, sweet, salty mix, which they call
Earth.
another earthy, truffles. Kind of some kind of other flavor that's not the ones that we normally derive in the scientific method.
And say it again.
Umami.
Umami.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and it's not. This isn't a new thing.
No, I've never heard it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Matter of fact, I crave umami. I mean, yeah. When you actually, when you're not expecting it and you put something in your mouth and you're like, oh wow, mamma mia, that's umami.
I think Ken might have an even deeper interpretation of umami than the rest of the world. So.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So what do you end up growing? You said you don't grow a lot because your kids won't eat it. So what do you grow?
So I have one pot that has some third generation of a hothouse tomato that regrew. So it has 3 beautiful plants. It's producing the most. I kept it alive for these last years with no garden or plants dying and lots of things. This is the first year that I've actually had time in 15 or 20 years to grow plants. And it's healthy and has at least 6 sets of flowers that have tomatoes ranging to about 2 inches. It'll get to about 4 inches and flowers all the way out. So we'll see how that continues.
Now, what kind of tomato is it?
I got it from my first party in 2017 when I started the Chef on Location business at the press room.
Mm-hmm.
And we had, it was a leftover tomato and I forgot about it. And I looked over a month or so later and it hadn't rotted. It actually started growing out of the tomato. And so I threw it in a pot of dirt and kept it under a light in the house. And in February, I had tomato plants growing in the living room.
Wow.
And I grew some of them outside, and I saved some. They had a few tomatoes. They were unsuccessful. The garden died that year, but it had a few runty-looking tomatoes that I saved, and I watered the ground again next year, and they in the pot, and they grew again, new tomato plants. And they did the same thing the next year. They got a little bit bigger. I ate maybe 3 or 4 tomatoes, but they weren't very impressive, and the plant died because of all my different things I had going on. I wasn't able to take care of the garden. This year, like I said, so the seeds grew from those, and here we go. We got some amazing new. You okay over there, Kath?
No, it's kind of unsteady, so it fell. With the tomatoes, so there's so many different strains. When I go to the store, I don't know what kind to buy. So what's the difference? I know this is a silly question, but I honestly don't know. For example, if I want a good tomato to put in a salad, what would I buy?
A beefsteak, it depends. Or cherry, there's size, shape, texture, and water content are going to be your determiners.
I just thought they were red.
Yeah, the thing is with the beefsteak, now and then, I've just gotten some that are too mealy, and they also have too much jelly.
It
Really
depends on the salad. That's why I retracted my statement.
Yeah,
because sometimes if I'm just having a fresh garden salad, I want that jelly as part of the dressing almost on my lettuce and iceberg and that kind of. But that's one style. Or if I'm having spinach and stuff like that, I might want cherry tomatoes because they want them to be separate. And do I cut them in half or do I want to pop when I bite them? There's so how big should they be? And there's those small like gem-sized cherry tomatoes, and then there's cherry tomatoes. There's grape size, and then there's ones that are 1.5 inches, and then they start getting to different shapes. And with the heirloom tomatoes now, there's so many varieties. I just picked up
I get
some green zebras.
Yeah, well, when I go shopping to pick up tomatoes, just for me to slice and maybe salt or put on some rice vinegar and just a snack on, I tend to go with either those tomatoes on the vine or, believe it or not, plum.
So plums is one of the things because they're field grown and sometimes can be, if you get them in the right season, are picked at their ripest stage, and they travel well because of their thick skins. They hold well in storage, and they're really great for. They don't have a lot of seeds. They don't have a lot of moisture, and you get a lot more meat with them. So usually they're used for sauce, but they can be good in the grocery store. You can find good fresh. If all the other tomatoes look yucky, sometimes you can find a couple of plums that are really nice in that in their mix. So.
What would you use on a sandwich? Because sometimes I get a tomato and it's too liquidy.
So Farmer Fran, my friend on Carrington Road, he grows what he calls the Mountain Fresh variety. And he specifically picks that variety because it has the least amount of jelly and seeds, but not mealy. It has a delicious flesh all the way through. So for those so I would use those tomatoes. I would buy the big tomatoes, and I would get 4, maybe 5 slices for sandwiches out of the middle, and then the tops and bottoms give me my diced tomatoes for making salsa or bruschetta.
Oh, I never thought of that.
And so if you're going to do different things,
throw it
if
away.
you're having a party and you need to use 5 or 6 tomatoes to slice for people, you'll get a bunch of ends. Might as well be generous to the ends, and then you get your meaty stuff to make your salsa or your bruschetta dip.
That's a great idea. 9:30 in the morning. Pete, I want to do a very quick break. And then when we come back, I think we may have a video in the can from last time Chef was here, and we'll determine what's going on with that right after this.
Underwriting for Community Radio on WSKB is brought to you in part by Rockies. Over 30 convenient locations throughout Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Florida. One of the nation's largest ACE dealers. Expertise and great product selection in paint, hardware, lawn and garden. That's Rockies. Rock solid service since 1926. On the web at rockies.com. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Barnes and Noble College Bookstore in the Ely Campus Center, offering Westfield State t-shirts, sweatshirts, and gift merchandise, all of your academic needs, and offering textbook materials in new, used, ebook, and rental formats. Available at the bookstore on campus or online at westfieldstate.bncollege.com.
Hi, this is Harry Rock, host of Rock on Westfield every 4th Wednesday at 8 a.m. Tune in for my view of this place I call home.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Okay, so Peter, did you have a look on the hard drive, and did you find any of the videos from the other week that we might not have played?
I think so.
Okay, so most of Chef's videos are about 10 minutes long. Which
this
will give
one's 5.5.
Okay, great. So we're going to have plenty of time to chat about it afterwards. And then towards the top, when we get close to the top of the hour, we're going to play a game with Chef, too. Yeah. It's a good game.
I like to play games.
You'll enjoy it. It's not anything like the game I played with Bob this morning, though.
Oh, I know about it.
I really got into his head. I'll be posting it as a separate clip later on. I can tell you that. But any idea? Is there a title to the video, Pete?
This one's about coleslaw.
All right. So you did the egg salad one last time. I think we went over.
Yeah.
Okay. So we did egg salad last time, and this is coleslaw. Now coleslaw is one of my favorite salads, and I like it both. The creamy mayonnaise base, but also the oil and vinegar base. That's
there's so many different ways you can do it.
And when I was a kid, I hated cabbage And then I tried coleslaw and I loved it. Hated Golumkis until I was in my teens.
Really?
Yeah, and now I eat. Now I ferment my own cabbage. I mean, I have seasoned cabbage in cans. I can cook. I love cabbage of any type. And lettuce. I only like the white part of the iceberg lettuce. I don't like any of the other lettuces.
Really?
So to me, they're night and day. Chef Lev. I'm not trying to be funny here, but Chef gets it, don't you?
Well, yes, and I get a lot of things, but what I get out of your extreme love for cabbage might be your single life, because that's a lot of cabbage, my friend. Keep it big,
I see what you did there. I appreciate what you did there, and as anyone who knows me knows very well, it's just a function of the body. You know what? I have 2 weeks ago when Kathy was actually
Let's go to the videotape.
I walked out of the room, but you're not Kathy. If I had to, I'd
here we are again.
Just do it right. And I'm
Thank
doing
you,
this.
John.
I had no idea this was going to happen.
Oh yes, you did, John. Because I'm doing this on purpose now. I'm not trying to
Okay.
I'm not trying to have a toilet mind or a third grade humor here. I'm just doing this on purpose at this point. So we're going to watch another video you filmed in the backyard?
Yes, I believe it is.
Okay, so we're going to watch a video about making coleslaw.
Here in Huntington, Massachusetts. It's summertime, so I was thinking about side salads to go with my barbecue. We're going to put together a really simple coleslaw today that your friends and family will really enjoy. To start off with, we're going to make the dressing. The dressing is going to start with a half a cup of mayonnaise, and to that we're going to add about a tablespoon of honey. Honey. Sweet it is. And we're going to now add 2 tablespoons of cider vinegar, a teaspoon of stone ground mustard, a dash or 2 of your sauce, and some poppy seeds. Poppy seeds are awesome because they are high in protein and they add a little bit of crunch and texture to our dressing. We're going to then add some of our Himalayan salt and fresh ground pepper. And that's going to give us a nice base dressing. We're going to whisk that together. A little sweet, a little tangy, a little creamy. Just what all the best coleslaws should be. Get that incorporate real nicely here. So to add to the flavor profile of this coleslaw, we're going to add some fresh herbs. I stopped at my friends, the Mahoney's farmstead here in Huntington, and harvested some of these fantastic chives. It's really great. Here in Western Massachusetts, there are so many people that have homesteading, small family farms, large gardens. We live in a great part of the world where we're able to grow all the things that we really can need and store. And right now is a perfect time of the year to grab the chives. They're just starting to go to bloom, but we're going to add some of them to our coleslaw to give it a nice bite. We're just going to gently chop these in with our scissors. Right in there. There we go, about 2 or 3 tablespoons We're also going to clip a piece of our nice fresh parsley and add some of that to the dressing as well. The next thing we're going to add to our slaw is some carrots because they provide some nice nutrition and a little color. And we're just going to peel the carrots. And for those of you at home that don't know, these peelers are really cool. They go back and forth, speeding up the process quite a bit. And we're going to grate that carrot into our bowl. Trying to go the lengthwise on the carrot on the grater will give you longer shreds in your final dish, as you can see right here. If you go the short way, you get little tiny chumped up pieces, but if you use the long side, you get those nice shreds. And I really like to have the matching shreds of the carrot match the julienne of the cabbage. I have this half a head of Napa cabbage, and we're gonna cut it in half. And then finely chiffonade, very thin slice that cabbage. Add that to the bowl, the other half. That's about 3 cups of cabbage. You could use regular green cabbage as well. And then we're going to just toss our cabbage and carrots in our dressing. One of the good things about putting the poppy seeds in the dressing is when you can see that they've been incorporated through all of your cabbage, you know that your dressing has been mixed thoroughly. So this is bright, orangey, colorful, flavorful, packed with some fresh herbs. Really nice summer side dish to go along with any barbecue, I'd say. Thanks for watching.
All right, mic is on. All right, OMG, that last shot looked totally awesome, Chef.
Yeah, my son took that one and cleaned it up a little bit to give it a nice cover piece there.
Are you craving coleslaw now, Kath?
Absolutely. I like coleslaw. Always did.
You know, I was just talking with Chef during that video. You know, I'm a fan of both the shredded and the chopped ones. Mm-hmm. And I just had Walmart delivery again yesterday because I haven't been going on dates with you.
I know.
And I had a 2-pound tub of their coleslaw delivered, and they do the chopped one. And it's the dressing. It's not quite salad dressing. It's not quite mayonnaise. I can't place it.
I don't know what
really
it is
good.
either. I've had.
Have you had theirs?
Yeah, I like their coleslaw.
Yeah,
I actually do. They have some decent deli food.
Yeah, I'm really shocked by some of the stuff over in the deli area at Wally.
You know, I've even tried their potato salad, Chef, and it's not bad.
Their Amish one and their egg and potato.
Yes.
Or the deviled egg potato salad is just nuts.
Yeah, and there's a seafood salad they have that's pretty good too.
I'm sure that they have bought in many companies that mass produce and package their food for them over the years, and some of them are great.
I'm just shocked by it.
I don't know. Unfortunately, big companies have bought all the small companies where it's hard to go find a mom and pop where you can go buy some of those things to get.
Even you go to a locally owned market, quote unquote, the larger chains, but to this region, and you get their coleslaw or whatever at the deli, that's coming out of a 5-gallon tub. That's not made at the store.
Right. Now, Chef, what is the shelf life of a good coleslaw? How long can you keep it?
Well, the dressing will hold a long time, but once you mix it with the cabbage, probably a week. It's probably better the second or third day, and by the 5th or 6th day, it's starting to be on the end.
Yeah, I need a coleslaw to sit at least 8-12 hours after it's mixed. It just comes together, I think. What would you say that's the right wording for that?
Comes together or comes apart, I guess. Either way you want to look at it. It gives the time for the cabbage to tenderize from the acids and stuff like that to make it, to change the texture, and kind of the flavors seep in better, I think. It's more about marination, I think. Because I usually end up draining the dressing off, but the cabbage has got all the flavor now at this point, and it's not as creamy. necessarily when you eat it when it's stored, but the flavor is so much better in the slaw that it,
Yeah, I tend to mix mine up, the following day, and it equalizes everything. One thing I liked in that video, and I'm gonna try it at home next time I make slaw, is I usually use sugar, but you ended up using honey.
Honey, I saw that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I love to incorporate local sweeteners. If I can. So, I use local honey at home all the time. And, you can even get locally produced apple cider. So that's something where you could really make a really wholesome local ingredient dressing.
I hadn't heard about local cider, apple cider vinegar.
Absolutely.
Now, would this be the apple cider vinegar that you get the mother in?
I imagine that they sell it probably both ways there because of I know Cars in the Hadley area, Cars Cider House has a hard cider, and I've seen it at other farmers markets and other farmhouses make cider vinegar as well. But I imagine you could get some that's all natural. I believe it even says right on the bottle with the mother.
With the mother,
Yeah.
I've noticed it's a completely different taste.
Yeah.
Than the stuff coming out of the $1.49 glass bottle. I mean, it's definitely different. I'm still craving coleslaw. I hate playing. I love and hate playing your videos.
I'm going to be making a different kind of slaw today or in the near future with some grated beets and carrots because they have such high packed energy right now, and again they're just starting to come out of the ground. The beets are good size right now, and the carrots are fresh, and a lot of the farms have them. So packed with nutrition.
I love my beets pickled. I'll eat it cold, pickled beet right out of. Matter of fact, one time we were down in Virginia, and Pete and I went into it was the Sage Diner, and they're asking about sides. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll get coleslaw. Oh, beets, you got beets? I'll get beets. He goes, you Polak, that's a Polish thing to do, and they were just, awesome pickled beets. Now, what you're doing with the beets, is that something you're just doing for you, or are you doing that over on Southwick Road?
I'm going to be doing that for probably a Mass Appeal segment in the near future. I think the next one that they've got me scheduled for. I'm not sure when we're recording it. But we have made that over on Southwick Road was one of the side dishes the other day. So it's this time of year. It's great to feature some farm fresh produce.
Any specials or surprises coming up over there that you want to leak?
Well, I don't have to leak them. They published them this morning. So there's a lobster boil flatbread today available at Skyline that has lobster and shrimp with sausage and potatoes and fresh local corn. So that'll be a fun one this week. As well as a chicken caprese salad featuring the fresh tomatoes and basil from the area. So lots of great stuff.
Yeah, you had Kathy at Lobster and Shrimp on the same thing.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Sometimes it's fun to do that as a creamy dish, but this time of year it's definitely turning mind to summer boils, and I think Chef Dan picked a winner for the seasons.
Wow. All right, I want to play a game with you. I want to. Pete, is it better if I do a quick break while you set up for the game? Okay, so you want to go right into the game?
Yeah, just give me did you talk for about a minute?
Okay, well, the quick break would have brought me there, but I'll keep talking.
I can't do it while there's a quick break. I'm doing still working.
I can keep talking.
He's
been conversating with somebody over in the production studio instead of lining my stuff up. Ken Stein has a list of rapid-fire questions I send off in your direction. There are no right or wrong answers. It's just strictly your own humble opinion. Now, as you know, Chef, you've been through, I think, version 3.0, 4.0, 5.0. Generally around the end of August, I come up with a new edition. We don't have a food fest this year, so I might be delaying that. But we have had a pandemic. So I came up with Ken's 10 COVID edition 5.5.
Oh, no.
So here we go. Ken's 10 with Chef John Slattery. Question 1. Delivery or curbside?
Delivery.
Weight gain or weight loss?
Gain.
I lost. Yeah, I rub it in every week.
I've been maintaining, but I did an initial gain.
Yeah, the COVID-15, huh? Number 3, terrified or cautious?
I'm a very cautious individual. Very cautious.
All right. Question number 4, yes or no? Coughed and looked around to see if anybody was reacting.
No.
I have.
Me too.
That's, yeah.
I just did, and I said allergies.
Yes or no? Spending more on your gas and electric bill?
Yes.
Number 6. Fashion mask or generic mask?
I can't breathe into my fashion mask, so I have to wear a generic.
Number 7 is a yes or no. Gone down the aisle of the market in the wrong direction?
Unknowingly.
Yeah. I was at a place yesterday that rhymes with plop and plop. And
took up the markings.
And I'm walking. Well, the markings were on the floor again, but absolutely nobody but me was adhering to them.
Really?
Not even the staff.
No. No. I mean, I had people from millennials to middle-aged men to elderly women and men just walking wherever the hell they wanted.
Interesting.
Yeah. Number 8. Binge watch or normal TV viewing?
Normal TV viewing.
Zoom. Love it or hate it?
I like it. I haven't used it much, but I like it.
And number 10, Ken's 10 COVID edition 5.5 with Chef John Slattery. Yes or no? Did you have toilet paper issues?
No.
No. All right, and that is 5.5. Thanks for playing along, Chef.
By the way, if you look on the North Elm Butcher Block Instagram account, they just published some food porn.
Oh, today is their meatloaf?
Baked potato day.
Oh, yeah, the baked potato day, and you can top it with either pulled pork or brisket.
Yes.
Yeah. Yesterday they had bacon-wrapped meatloaf.
They even smoked the potatoes.
My farm share special last week was we had just gotten the very first onions of the season and the first green peppers of the season, and to mind came a pizza with the flatbread. So all I wanted was a vegetarian combo. So it was just fresh mushrooms, fresh peppers, fresh onions with marinara and mozzarella on the flatbread, and it was just like summer and like classic Italian all in one.
Immediately I hear the onion and pepper, and where does my mind go? Sausage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that just one of those great?
Those things
so we're doing,
and it's a great combination with or without red sauce.
So good.
We're doing a pork fajita with peppers and onions this week.
At Skyline?
Flatbread, yeah, at Skyline.
I just love the smell of peppers and onions cooking.
And they just canned the raspberry jam yesterday, everybody. So it'll go so fast. Anybody listens to this?
Oh, I love jam on my toast in the morning.
No, raspberry jam, the beer.
I know.
Are they kegging any of it?
All right. Can we
John,
leave now and go eat somewhere?
Are they kegging any of it so I can go get a growler full?
They definitely kegged some of it as well. They did.
Good. I'll go get a growler full.
There's did you try the pina colada escape?
No.
It's a New England style double IPA.
When you had it, did you get caught in the rain?
Yeah, no, but I wouldn't have minded if I had one of these. It was so good.
Yeah, that was bad.
No. It's so much fun to work over there with all the cool stuff.
Shiny things.
Yeah, Tuesday is watermelon margaritas this week. Right?
Ooh.
The beer garden's open with the view of the field. They just got permission last week to start manicuring the hillside and build their back patio.
I know. I was on that meeting.
Yeah.
Like every other meeting I'm on.
Because you're the electronic coordinator of the meeting? Is that how it works?
I do them all, yes.
Yeah, way to go, Pete. Keep up the good work. Yeah, no, there's the big things coming and great stuff coming out, so love it. I heard the farmers market's going to open, too. Did anybody talk about that?
We haven't talked about that. Do you want to talk about it?
I didn't know if anybody had any more details than me other than I heard it's going to open, so that's good.
You're going to stand in line and you're going to be told when you can walk through. You are not able to handle any of the produce. The vendor has to handle the produce for you. And there is no hanging around or chit-chatting. You go in, get your stuff, and you go. And they have abbreviated hours. I think I saw like 12 to 5 or something. You'll have to go on their website to verify that. But they're not open as late as what they I think what they used
to be 12 to 6.
Man, I hope the science revises the guidelines sometime in the near future, one way or the other, or something. But.
You know, I myself, I need to handle my produce before I buy it so I could, determine if it's firm or not. I mean,
I guess it's a liability.
If it's heavy for its size. I mean, there's several things that you handle produce for to determine.
And when you handle produce and you get home, you're supposed to wash it. So I mean, there's that. So I mean, it's coming from a field or a farm and should be washed anyway. So it got handled before. There's, I guess. With a farm, the farmers, especially these small farmers, are doing their absolute best to follow all the guidelines that they can. So there's always that, and you hope for the best, but you still, bottom line, have to wash your produce once you get it.
And I noticed yesterday when I was at that place that rhymes with Plop and Plop, in the produce section, they once again have the big spray bottles full of produce cleaner. So that you haven't really seen that out and about for a while, but it's back, and you use that to clean your produce. Even if it's something hard skinned that you tear off, like an orange or something, or a watermelon. All right, you still have to put your knife through, so you still want to clean it.
But they are telling us, the science is saying that your chances of contacting anything by touching it is probably not that great.
That's what I've heard.
You're fairly
so
safe.
Far,
there are doctors out there that say, people are going home and they're leaving their groceries on their porch and they're not touching them for 3 or 4 days. They're telling us that's just not really necessary. That it's probably, if you want to feel safe and do that, fine. I'm not going to say don't. But our chance, when you pick up that squash, just think what your chances are that someone else, first of all, they've got to have had something that's communicable. You can't conjure it up out of the air. And if you've touched it before me, Ken, it doesn't mean I'm going to catch anything from you. So I just don't want people to be terrified. I want them to be careful. I want them to use their heads, but let's not stop going and picking these things out and using them. It would be a shame. The farmers need your support. They need you to go and buy their products.
Yeah, definitely look on the sides of the road for the farm stands. A lot more of them will be popping up. The small farms, tables on the side of the road that have their vegetables for sale and things like that. Help support your neighbors and friends with that. There's some great things out there too. We've even got one farm that has raw milk and eggs just in a refrigerator on the side of their property out in Huntington.
Wait a minute. You can buy raw milk
if it's directly from the farm. Yeah.
Kathy.
Don't ask me. I thought you couldn't without special permits to do it. I don't know that I can just sell you raw milk. It's the liability. I will check into that.
Wow.
I'll look it up and I'll tell you next week.
And maybe it's not raw, and I could be misspoken. It's just definitely.
No, there are farms that are selling it, but I think you need special permits to do it.
The reason why I'm thinking that is homemade mozzarella.
Well, yeah, that's
with the raw milk. I mean that. Oh yeah. Now I'm picturing Elton Brown with his attorneys itchy and scratchy behind him whenever he.
Guys, I've been drinking raw milk for 40 years, and
I don't know. I love scooping the cream off the top and putting it aside to make whipped cream with and use it for my desserts and berries. And I watched it separate. I've seen it.
It's so sweet.
Interesting.
In the summer because they're out there on the grass.
I imagine.
And it's so good. I had to buy store milk one day because I was out and I needed something right away. I took one drink. I threw it out. I can't drink store milk.
Well, that fat-free stuff, nobody can.
Well, the difference in the homogenization just changes the milk. So it's something completely different thing once it's been.
Well, we have mixers that it mixes it all up. I mean, the in the tank, in the cooling tanks, it's always being stirred.
Right.
But I can't drink it.
But that's not homogenization. That's just stirring.
No, it's just stirring it up.
Exactly.
It's just that's all.
Once you put it, once it still comes out of that tank and put it in a jar, it's still going to separate again.
I shake it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it would be so simple for me to use stirring it up into segueing to something on social media, but I can't because we're running out of time.
I saw what you did there, though.
Did you see?
I know what you're thinking.
Yeah, Chef John Slattery, I want to thank you for taking some time out of your day and spending it with us here at Community Programming.
It's always fun to be here. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank
you. I appreciate you coming in and
sometimes I don't know what it exactly it is we talked about for an hour by the time I leave.
Yeah, I always make sure there's at least one little bit of something about food in there.
Yes.
That way,
That's
that
what we
way there I
talked
can
about. We did that for
quantify
a whole
having
hour.
him. Yeah. That's about it. Next week, if she remembers, I have Hope from the Evening News. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. That was bad. Hope from the Westfield News.
Mind freeze. Brain freeze.
You know, it's just, being out of work since March. It's just, I'm not exercising my brain enough. And thank you, Peter Coles. That's all I have time for. I'll catch you next time.